Hey guys, Coach Herb. Just want to go over the instructions for your assignment today. If you are on the main page, there's a couple things. One, remember to do your bell work, but also after you complete your bell work, do this ACIP student survey. It is for our continuous improvement plan that we create every year. It's based on things that you say about the school, things that um, you think that we could improve, and so we take your input and we try to improve the school best we can. So we need you to take this survey and give us that feedback so we can make the school better for you. So do that for us, please. And there's no wrong answers. He'll tell you that. You just mark what you feel. But do the bell work, do the survey, and then you can find your assignment. And again, you can always go through the weekly units, but every week your assignments are going to be right here. And you can click here and go to September 24th, which is today. And it says, today we'll be learning about the competition that developed for the land of the New World. European nations such as England, France, and the Netherlands soon became interested in attaining their own valuable colonies. See, they had saw Spain and Portugal gaining all this territory in the New World, or what they thought was the New World, and they wanted a piece of the pie too. But the Treaty of Tordesillas had been signed in 1494, and it had divided the newly discovered lands between Spain and Portugal. But basically, that was just thrown out the window. It was basically ignored, and they set out to build their own empire. So this resulted in a struggle because if two people want something, usually there's a fight for it. And so your first task is to watch the video, kind of explaining how we got to this point, and then also who else gets involved. It gives you some background of how they treated the natives and then how they acquired the colonies that they did. You need to pay special attention to how each country used their land and where they were located, where geographically they were located. Your second task is going to be to compare and contrast the various New World colonies using the readings and graphic organizer competing for the colonies. As you work on your assignment, you will also read about how the competition led to fighting. These battles would lead some groups growing in the New World, some groups losing their New World possessions entirely. So if you click this link, it'll ask you to make a copy. You'll make a copy of it. It'll take a minute apparently, but that's fine. And so it kind of gives you some background knowledge of what was going on during that time with the Roman Catholics and the Spanish, and eventually, you have all these different colonies being put together. But as you read, you'll see that there is a little graphic organizer table to fill out, and you've got 4 readings here based off of where they were, what their reason for settlement was, and the treatment of Native Americans. And so you can read about New Spain, New France, New Netherlands, and New England. And so these are the kind of parties that are going to get involved in North America after we've seen the Spanish and the Portuguese kind of push through the American continents. Okay. And you can just click on these. When you click on them, it'll open up a little window. If you click right here, it'll open up the window in your reading. And so you can read about where they were, what was going on there, how they treated people, things of that sort. You can do the same thing with all of them. It'll open up a new one right here. You can read about why they were there, where they were, and how they treated the natives. Some treated them well, some didn't. Some worked with them, some didn't. Again, in the Netherlands, and then New England. You can read. Hopefully the pictures show up. Pictures don't show up, don't worry. Oh, there it is. So you can kind of read those things and fill out your graphic organizer about it. The last one is reading about the fight for the colonies. So you do the same thing. You click, and you come down here, and you can read about the battle for North America. And then lastly, you fill all that in there. What you need to fill out in there, and I'm sorry, I need to put something in there, is to describe, who was fighting and what was going on in terms of the fighting in there. Summarize what you read here in a couple sentences, 2 to 3 sentences of summarization there, and what was going on, who was fighting. And then lastly, write a letter to a relative in Europe from the point of view of an early settler. It doesn't matter which settler. You could be French, you could be Spanish, you could be Dutch, you could be English. It doesn't matter to me, but you write it as if you are from one of those countries settling in North America. Describe what life is like and what your goals are in North America. So what you're doing there. So again, you're writing back home and you're explaining not only that you've landed in a certain place and you live there, and now what is going on. Okay. If there are any questions with any of this, please feel free to send me an email, and hopefully, I can help you out there. I work really hard on this. I'll go over this a little bit later on. I'll make a video going over this. I'll be watching those videos and going over your assignments and be doing your study guide. Your test is coming up next week, Tuesday and Thursday of next week. So if I see you today, then I'll see you later. And if I don't, then I hope you have a great day.